In a world where we're constantly told to buy more and do more, it can be difficult to think about cutting out unnecessary spending, even for a short period of time. According to the most recent Consumer Expenditure Survey from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, the average American household spends $6,081 a month, with $288 going towards entertainment, $303 going towards takeout, $162 towards clothing, and $72 towards personal care. One way to reduce unnecessary spending is with a no-buy period. It can be as long as you want and as strict as you want. I've thought about doing a no-buy year for a while, but I've never felt confident in my ability to succeed. I started tracking my clothing purchases this summer, and in just 3 months, I bought at least 20 items. My last clothing purchase was on September 20th. Influenced by fall trends, I wanted to add something red to my wardrobe. I went to a consignment shop to see if I could find a red sweater, but I found a red leather jacket instead. During that same shopping trip, I bought 5 other items. What I had intended to be one purchase snowballed into 6. I felt so frustrated with myself and so tired of constantly buying things. I had let myself believe that the amount of clothing I bought was okay because it was secondhand, but I was no longer okay with my rate of consumption. Hi, I'm Jillian. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. I have been on a journey to live a more minimal and intentional life since around 2015 when I first discovered minimalism. For a few years I was doing really well. I got rid of a lot of clutter in our home and I was successfully working toward a more minimalist wardrobe. But in 2018 I became more interested in sustainable fashion, and it felt like I had a palatable way to satisfy that deep need to buy clothing while I was also able to participate in a movement that was good for the environment. And all of a sudden shopping seemed good again. But on September 20th, as I looked through all of my new purchases that I had made in a matter of only a few hours, I kind of knew that I was never going to be free of my compulsive shopping tendencies unless I did something pretty drastic. It was at that moment that I decided to do a no-buy period. I didn't know how long it was going to be, and I didn't tell anybody. I kind of wanted to test myself. I think I needed to build up my confidence before I made any declarations. But on October 14th, 3 weeks and 3 days after the red jacket shopping trip, I made a Substack post to declare my intention to do a no-buy year. And I felt great. I felt like I had a sense of purpose and determination. My rules were pretty simple. I will just pull them up here now. The items I'm not buying for the next year are clothing, new or pre-loved, shoes and handbags, new or pre-loved jewelry, new brands or types of toiletries or makeup beyond what I already use. Replacements are allowed of the exact item. Items that I can purchase, pattern or fabric purchases. I don't expect there to be very much of this, if at all. I already have a lot of patterns that I intend to use over the next year if I want to make clothing, and I have a fabric stash that I will work through. Consumables and experiences. Consumables are coffee outside of the house with friends, and experiences include movies, concerts, dinners, and museums. Another thing I'm permitting is home improvement materials. We have a few little things that we want to do around the house this winter, mostly involving paint. So I want to be able to purchase those, even though they're not really a personal purchase as much. We have a family trip in 2024, and sometimes I like to buy a piece of jewelry or clothing as a souvenir. It's been a month since I made that declaration, and a lot has changed. I have become much more focused on my work, and I created this channel so that I could share this experience with you. This is something that I've wanted to do for about 4 years, but have always felt a little too scared. It's like removing shopping has opened the floodgates for new ideas and new opportunities and possibilities, and that feels really nice to be adding value to my life instead of stuff. I know that there are going to be people who are going to doubt me and think that I can't do it, but I finally feel like this is something that I can tackle, and I just want to bring you guys along on the journey just in case like maybe you're considering it as well, and you get to see the challenges that I'm sure I will face, and then also the successes that I'll hopefully have. We're only a month into the no-buy year so far, and I haven't been feeling that challenged yet, which I find a little surprising, but I have been doing things to ensure that I'm successful. I'm focusing on the things I already own. Recently, I've decluttered over half of my clothing in an attempt to let go of the clothes that I'm emotionally attached to but never wear. I no longer put myself in tempting situations. I've used a justification that I was just going to browse in the past to go into my favorite consignment shops. But from experience, I know that just browsing is never a good idea. I've deleted shopping websites and wish lists from my computer favorites and removed shopping apps from my phone. I've also unsubscribed from any brand marketing emails. Whenever I feel overwhelmed, I journal. This is a very new habit for me, and I believe that it has been providing me with the emotional release that shopping used to. I think a no-buy challenge, no matter what length it is, can feel really scary, especially because we're so conditioned to shop and we just can't imagine ourselves not shopping. But I just want to highlight 4 things that I've realized since I've started doing this challenge. Your friends will still be your friends, even if you stop shopping. You might even find some new ones, and you'll definitely have something interesting to talk about. You'll still wear outfits that you love. Not constantly adding things to your closet gives you the space to assess what you have and to experiment with items that maybe you haven't seen in years. You'll stop thinking about shopping so much. Now you'll just think about not shopping. And it's contagious. I've become much more aware of how our family spends money, and for the first time in a long time, I feel like we'll hit our budgeting goals this month. You won't be bored. When you take shopping out of the equation, you find other ways to fill that time. Maybe there's a hobby you've been wanting to pick up but haven't had the time for, and maybe not shopping means that you have time for it now. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for being here. If you have already subscribed, thank you so much for your support. And if you haven't, but you would like to see more minimal and intentional living ideas, go ahead and click the subscribe button and the notification bell, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.